When was the last time you guys went an entire day without using AI? Even just a little bit.
What happens with the accountability if something goes wrong?
Google, they're just rolling out AI products on a regular basis now.
How are Google going to be making their money out of this?
Look, this is becoming existential for Google.
Netflix is about to enrich our lives with personalized AI-generated ads in 2026.
And Sam Altman has got a prototype and he thinks it's the coolest piece of technology the world has ever seen.
Hello and welcome to episode 90 of Disconnected. I'm your host, Jag Sharma, joined by Jen Campbell, Felina Tan, and Jason Kapadia. Coming up, it's an AI action-packed episode today. We're energetic for agentic. Jason will ponder what physical consumer products OpenAI may have planned after scooping Apple's famous iPhone designer. Felina will give us an update on how agency land is coping with the rise in AI. Jen and Jason review the latest AI products launching from Google, as well as other trending topics. Quick one, guys, before we get started. Did any of you see the news coming out of Netflix? The streaming service is about to enrich our lives with personalized AI-generated ads in 2026. Expect to see tailored ads made just for your eyes, with you in mind, loading up before shows, during shows, after shows, when you pause and hit unpause, and even some AI-generated product placement. Quick take, guys. What do you think? Exciting times ahead or shitification on a scale we truly cannot comprehend?
Black Mirror coming to life. If you've seen that episode, the first one of the latest season of Black Mirror, that's what I anticipate. Obviously not so in your face where there's a human in front of you, spitting out ads that's relevant to what you say, but I do think it is just like softly Black Mirror creeping on us.
You know, that episode actually deeply affected me because, it was, and to put that as the first episode of the season, it was, because it's about a person's health, and then it's like, just sign up, and then it's just this amount, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse. And it's brave of the makers of Black Mirror to do that, considering it goes out on a streaming platform, and they were clearly taking a dig at streaming platforms. But no, I was really saddened by that episode. It really affected me. But anyway, thanks, Felina. What, Jen, Jason?
Well, I do always think my life is enriched by adverts. So the more adverts I can get, the better, That's just how I live my life. Can't wait. Well,
you do work in marketing and advertising, so,
I think that makes it worse.
One thing that it gets to me right now is that, I'll put on something to watch, and let's just say my wife was watching on my profile Sex Life, right? And so then, but my parents also use the same login. So when they go into Netflix, they see recently watched Sex Life, and so it's and I'm just thinking about the personalized AI ads that it's going to generate. Oh gosh. I don't know how deep it's going to go into your search history.
I think it's time everyone in your family paid for their own Netflix accounts, Jason.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to have to start separating it out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think it'll make it tough. I think many people are sharing passwords. Well, we'll all experience it together in 2026. I'm actually looking forward to the AI product placement that they managed to slip in, and we'll all get different experiences. A little bit like another Black Mirror episode where some of us were served, that it's Bernie's, and some were served that it's Barney's.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Which one did you get? I got Barney's.
Do you know what? I cannot remember now. So there we go. I'll just believe I'll be one of those other characters that'll just believe you. If you tell me that it's Barney's or Bernie's, I'll be like, yeah, sure, it was. Anyway, it's good that we started talking about ads, because we're going to come to you first, Felina, and you're going to talk to us about how the agency world is absolutely loving AI and it's all working out great, and it's a fairy tale, a match made in heaven.
Is it all working out great though? I don't know. Well, so the piece of story that I'm talking about today, it does touch on, I guess the workplace a lot, but also I think at home, also I think in schools, but also I think just in general life. But before I go into the news story, I do have actually a quick question today. We're full of quick questions today. But when was the last time you guys went an entire day without using AI? Even just a little bit. And I don't mean just chat GPT. I mean like anything like autocomplete, like voice assistants, or that one app that, could magically tidy your calendar. Can you think when was the last time you went an entire day without using AI? Because I was thinking about this before, like earlier today, and I was like, I don't know. I actually don't know, which is, I don't know, is that embarrassing? But yeah, I'm just really keen to hear from you guys. When was it? Do you remember?
Funnily enough, I went on holiday a few weeks ago and made a real point of not using my phone for things. So I used it for a couple of things. Like I used Google Maps to find a restaurant that someone had told me about. I don't know if that used AI necessarily, but I probably went a day on that holiday without it, maybe, without meaning to, maybe.
Yeah. Jason, Jag?
Yeah, I think it was similar when I went on holiday. It's, you kind of disconnect. I was just recently in Croatia, and we traveled into Bosnia, and there was no mobile signal there either, like up in the mountains and stuff. So I felt lost. I just, without this, like this digital companion connected to the internet. But again, yeah, same as Jen. I don't know if I'm using. When I'm working, I'm using AI all the time, but when I'm not, it's not as much. Maybe just tinkering with all the new stuff that's coming out every day. How about you, Jag?
Yeah, same for me as with Jen. Last time I was on holiday, or last like public holiday when I actively switched off, but I can't state the date. But it would have been within the past like 3-4 months, but it would have been just really an isolated incident.
Yeah, like super touch and go. Because I think it's like the new norm now, this AI. So like the story really talks about how like since, ChatGPT hit the scene in like late 2022, AI is kind of like everywhere. Like we're using it to write, we're using it to chat, we're using it for design, we're using it for planning, for summarizing, even for brainstorming. And that happens a lot, like, at work, especially like in agencies, but also at school, also at home. And it's great because it's great that it's doing things a lot faster. But I guess, when does it come to a point where it quietly slides into, am I too dependent on it? Like, can I even run my life without, an AI being present in my life? It often starts with curiosity. And we know that with a lot of, AI platforms these days, ever evolving, you play around with a tool. Maybe it helps you draft an email. Maybe it helps you crunch some, Excel data, or maybe it even helps you clean up a sentence. I'm quite guilty of that last one, which is, I'll ask it to refine like emails for me to make it better. But yeah, no big deal. And then suddenly maybe it becomes a part of your routine because, it's efficient, it saves time. And that happens a lot in the workplace. And, even the agency that I work for, we have a lot of AI models that we use to like take away the, manual labor, which is a pain point. But I guess before long, this article really delves into, how you're not just using the tool and how you're like leaning on it and maybe even depending on it. So this is, I guess, where it gets interesting and a little like maybe uncomfortable because when you start, skipping that like double checking, when you stop asking like, oh, does this make sense? When you suddenly get quiet and the AI gets louder, it's not just, a habit anymore. It becomes something deeper. And so that's where, Psychology Today published this news story about how there's actually a name for it. And it's like agency decay. And how agency decay refers to this like gradual erosion of like our confidence and our capacity to act independently as we grow more reliant on AI. And how it's not just a tech issue, it's actually psychological. So we stop trusting our own judgment, especially in areas where like AI consistently, take the lead. And then when that happens across, a team or a company, it doesn't just, dull creativity. It actually creates like real risk. So Psychology Today, they suggest this particular framework called the 4 A's. One is all about, awareness, how you should just be honest with yourself about how much you're using AI and when it starts to take over. So it's almost like a self-reflection thing. The second A is around appreciation, remembering that AI is amazing, but it's still a tool. And, you as a person are real and you should, actually, I guess, tap into that a lot more. The third A is around acceptance that, yes, you can use it smartly while still staying actively involved, especially when judgment or ethics come into play. And then last A stands for accountability, which is owning your choices no matter how smart the AI might seem. So what do you guys think here? Like, do these 4 A's resonate with you? And do you think this will become the new normal across, workplaces, across schools? Like, have your workplaces also introduced, I guess, AI ethics? Is that a thing? That's my question to you guys.
Yeah, it's quite concerning. I was talking to a radiologist the other day, and she was saying that like the students who are coming up now are probably going to be so heavily reliant on AI detecting what's going on in these scans that it feels like they're going to lose their domain specific kind of like expertise. What happens with their accountability if something goes wrong, right? The human is supposed to kind of be the overseer of this tech, but we're all going to be relying on AI so much, and we're going to just outsource some of like a lot of the heavy lifting to it. And how does that affect us as a society? It's going to be pretty crazy.
Just as a total sidebar to that, we have been doing some article writing for DHL, and one of the things they were trying to push is their services for shipping equipment, health equipment. And apparently surgeons now, like students who are going to be surgeons, get sent VR headsets at home. They don't even spend that much time in an operating theatre anymore. They do it all through VR.
Whoa.
And AR and things like that. Yeah, how scary is that? I don't want them operating on me if I need an operation. I want someone who's been in an operating theatre. It's crazy.
We're going to ask for credentials if ever any of us, have to get a surgery. We're going to be like, please
100%.
show me.
Yeah, have you been in a theatre before? What? It's crazy.
But isn't that just similar to pilots being in a flight simulator and they have to do X number of hours a month or a year or whatever it is in a simulator?
But is it not, surely simulating, that's still a machine, right? Touching an actual human body, it's very tactile.
The human body is a machine, so,
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. Felina had to go on mute then. She was so disgusted with what I had to say.
She's swearing and on mute.
But to answer your question, Felina, it's already happening where I'm working. I manage a few people. Hopefully none of them listen to this podcast or this specific episode. And, they're all young, young, full of energy and, ready to learn. And we've rolled out a few AI tools. I'll go on the basic one. Something as simple as ChatGPT or DeepSeek. Before DeepSeek launched, if ChatGPT was down, I'd get at least panic from one of them. And in terms of accountability, no accountability. They would say, can't get those posts done right now, or that copy done right now, or that digital ad done right now, because ChatGPT is down. And so not getting that accountability, there's that, I don't even think they really had a chance to build up their confidence in their own copywriting abilities or their trust in themselves, because they've not done it for years. They did it for a short while, and then we rolled out ChatGPT for everyone, and now we have, we all have access to DeepSeek as well. So I don't think anyone that I'm working with that's below me in the team is like fully writing their own copy. Like they are leaning heavily on AI. So that's the copywriting side of it. Then on the creative side of it, we've got various tools that we're using. One that people at home might be using, Canva AI, it's quite good actually. But where does it end up? At the moment, what I'm seeing, not just from where I'm at, but from other places that I know that are using it, it's not necessarily churning stuff out that's exactly on brand. And then how far off brand can we go before we're completely off brand? There's a brand I'm familiar with where they have a mascot, and someone created a comic using the ChatGPT, image generation using the mascot, and the mascot just looked more and more and more not like the mascot. So, how is that allowed? And these things are happening. So yeah, I've kind of dovetailed off into something else about the quality of what's being put out, but it is there. Like the what were the four things? Accountability. I'm seeing evidence that people are not taking accountability. Appreciate.
I think that's appreciation.
Yes,
right? That one.
I do think people appreciate for sure. And then awareness. I wonder how much awareness is out there that of the stage we're at and what's going on.
Yeah, I think maybe self-awareness is probably something that it's still like in its infancy stages, and there needs to be a little bit more self-awareness. I don't know, because obviously now with AI, there's all these talk about, how much like water, how much energy we're using as well. So, I'm sure it's just going to blow up at some point, and then we'll have standard operating procedures across schools, across workplaces on how to use AI. But yeah, sorry, a bit Debbie Downer, but hey ho.
Is it also a generational thing as well? When you talk about self-awareness, are you finding, without putting you into a corner, maybe not where you're working right now, but maybe where you've been in the past, any of the Gen Zers, do you find the majority of them to be self-aware, or is it that they're too young to be judged right now on self-awareness in general?
That one's a loaded question. I think we can do a whole episode on Gen Zs.
I think we did one once before, but they're so complicated. Probably could do a whole series on them. But I'm finding some of them are self-aware and some are not. So maybe that's the same as when we were young. So let's see. But yeah, thanks for that update, Felina, and anyone in the agency world listening, feel free to reach out. We could, we're here to console you, and maybe we can give you a virtual hug. Let's move on. And you know what, guys? Google, they're just rolling out AI products on a regular basis now. And Jen's going to take us through one. Jason's going to take us through one. I think they're both interesting in their own ways. They're very different. So Jen, why don't you start with yours on the search side of things?
Yeah. Mine is quite quick, and actually my point to you guys about it has nothing to do with the announcement they've made particularly. But so Google are rolling out their new AI mode to Google search bar in the US as of this week, so Tuesday the 20th of May. And the aim is to give users the experience of having a conversation with an expert. Ooh, how exciting. The aim, obviously, for the business is to keep up with the competition with the likes of ChatGPT. So as part of this kind of annual developers conference, they've said that Gemini is going to be embedded so you can ask longer and more complex queries. The idea being that you can get through search quicker, it's deeper, it can come back with more pointed responses, and the idea being it speeds everything up for everyone and you can be more complex. So what fascinates me about this actually isn't, this is unsurprising to anyone, I would think. This is where they were going when they first brought in their AI queries last year. And so it's kind of an announcement we expected. But what I'm still really caught up on is, how does this work in terms of them making money? And how does this work in terms of SEO and ad revenue and things? Because that is how Google make their money. So they have got an annual subscription plan that you can sign up to if you're a really heavy user of their AI tools. And I think it's something like $250 or something like that a month. But for the average Joe who just uses Google for their search queries, everyone knows that obviously brands will pay to have their ads at the top of their search bars, and that people will optimize their websites to become ranked top of their search pages. So I don't know if any of you guys know anything about how this is going to work and how it's picking up. And do you pay to then be part of these deeper searches? It's machine learning, so I'm assuming you can't. It's like a bit of a minefield, and I haven't really looked into it too much, but I just thought I'd put it out there. Like, the update itself isn't that surprising, but what do you guys think? Well, how do you think that's going to work for brands, and how are Google going to be making their money out of this?
Since the announcement, I saw on LinkedIn, every single, SEO agency are now scrambling to say that they're the expert in this. Like, come on, man, the update just came out, but, so nobody's really an expert. I feel like we'll all need to sort of watch and see a little bit. But I do think you're right. I do think it's, it's going to come to a point where all the agencies and marketeers will just have to figure out how it works. But I haven't properly gotten my head around it like you, because There's just so many updates that I feel like, oh my God, it's like information overload. But this one's quite critical though. Unfortunately, I wish I had the answer, but I don't. Maybe Jag and Jason do.
Yeah, Jace, as a developer, is this something you kind of know? How does it work?
Yeah, so look, this is becoming existential for Google because OpenAI are saying that they're getting over 1 billion search-like queries a week. And Google sat on their hands with this AI tech for years, and they let OpenAI take, we spoke about it before, the mind share of when people think of AI, they don't go to Google. So Google have to, they have on this Google I/O presentation, you can see like they seem to be the leaders now, but still not enough people are using their AI products. So they have to shoehorn it into search to try to get that adoption. And in terms of ads, now this is where it's really like it remains to be seen because, looking at Google's financials, it seems like they're still absolutely smashing it. But now, with AI built into the Google search, it's going to stop the as many ad impressions. But I think, they're trying to. I think they're going to increase the prices of their like Google Shopping ad impression and costs because they know that AI is not going to really help them as much from giving information on if someone types a certain product or something to wear. But we've seen in the recent announcement where they've got the try on mode where you can kind of see yourself or anyone else. You can actually upload any picture and have that person, stylized and stuff like that. And I think they're going to start taking out a little bit more in terms of the revenue from that, because I think they think that that's going to be like the future and like leading to more conversions in sales and stuff. But if Google don't move and do all of this AI stuff, I really think that they're going to be in a detrimental position, and I think then this will be peak Google. So I don't know what you think, Jag.
So not that long ago, DeepSeek recommended some watch brands to me. I wasn't looking for a watch; I was looking for gift ideas, and it churned out several gift ideas. But then when it came to watches, it actually mentioned a couple of brands. And so maybe there's something on a brand level where there's an ad opportunity, like there might be something in that, if someone in Dubai is looking for their, a car valet service, and then they're asking, maybe they're not looking for a car valet service. Maybe they're looking, how do they clean their car themselves? Not that anyone in Dubai would do this. I don't like this example already. Someone in Surrey is looking to clean their car, and Google AI bot responds, with the various ways that you can go about cleaning your car. But then in the end says, yeah, but all of that will take about 45 minutes. You could go down the road to Pete's, to Pete's cleaning garage, and he'll get it done for 15 quid or whatever.
Yeah.
So you think it'll still be on keywords? It'd have to be, right?
Well, can I talk to this? Can I talk to it? Or can I only type? Can I talk?
Yeah, you could also, it also will scan all of your Google Drive if you let it to get like this whole context about you. And so I think, having Gmail, having your Google Drive and all of that the whole context around you is going to be moving things from like a kind of cost per click basis to more like giving the advertisers value. So they know, look, they're delivering you someone who really is tailored to your product and service. And, we were talking about it in our previous episode about how Meta is going to be doing the AI ad creation, and now Google is also going to be doing the same thing. So yeah, the Google have to diversify, get this AI and cloud thing to really work. So
thing is, I don't know half the stuff that is saved on my Google Drive, so they can have at it. So I don't even think it's that user friendly, and I got some really old files on there. So if they're going to judge me from 2009, fine.
Judge. I like the fact you've gone straight to being judged about it. It's not they're just going to get to know the 2009 you. It's they're judging it.
I mean, if they understand the journey better, then fine. Yeah, okay. But just to clarify, does anyone know? Can I only type in to this, or can I actually use my voice and have a chat with it?
I haven't seen it said anywhere, but I would assume you could talk to it.
But yeah, I do think it could be keyword based. Like, why not? And it could recommend brands or services if the conversation leads to it.
It's like if it's a voice-based thing, then it would definitely be a bit of an edge, right? Then it's like, like a Siri or like an Alexa. Because if it's just like, based on keywords at the moment, then it's just like the AI overviews. You know how, let's say you type like, oh, can I remove acrylic nails at home? And then the moment you type that, AI overviews appears like at the top of the search results, and like they pull in like articles from specific brands, like different sources, they cite them. So I don't know, the edge would be the voice thing.
I would think it will be included because Gemini, you can use Gemini with voice, and that's what's powering it. So I'm guessing you probably can.
Yeah, you could also use it with video as well. There was a really interesting demo where this guy was fixing his bike, and he had his phone out, and he was asking, okay, I've got my bike and it needs to be serviced, etc. Which bolt do I need to use? And it told it said, okay, you need to use this bolt. And then he asked, okay, what nearby stores have this bolt? And then it said, okay, these stores nearby have it. And so it's going to be like you're not, if you're using especially the voice and video mode, you're not going to be visiting websites, so that you won't see these ads there. But Google can direct where you're going to eventually shop if you're going to be using it in that way.
Is that an example that you saw?
Yes,
Jace?
yes, it was in the Google I/O demo. It was really, really impressive.
Okay.
Wouldn't be like what they call it, a zero-click world. So to be fair, the agency I work for, it's a search specialist agency. So I guess I should technically have seen that demo, but hey, here I am.
But from all our hypothesizing, does that now make us experts in this, and we can just?
Oh yeah, probably, yeah. We can go on LinkedIn, create a quick post and say, yep, we're experts in this. We should just start our own consultancy, disconnected consultancy.
Why not?
I probably shouldn't have started the section by saying I don't understand how this works.
Jace, why don't you tell us the other Google AI product that's coming out?
Yeah, so one of the most impressive things from this year's Google I/O is the Google Flow with VO3, as that's what they're calling it. And I'm telling you, this is, as my cousin would say, mind blasting, because it's so amazing. Because actually, we've spoken about AI video generators before, so there's nothing new there. But with this new platform, with the Flow platform that they've created, it makes it so simple to generate video with just a couple of keywords. But the main difference is that it also comes up with audio that goes along with the video. So it's like a huge deal, because it's not just dialogue that it comes up with. It's background sounds, music, and it all syncs up with the video. And for me, like, that's a massive step, because, if you're juggling a video model and trying to find audio to match, it's like very difficult. And I think that's why we haven't seen YouTube and other platforms kind of be completely littered with AI generated content. But I think now this is the next step. But it's also really cool for creators, because you can actually give it images of the characters that you want in a specific scene. You can, in one of the demos, they put a character as well as a car and a chicken into the UI, and it generated like a video of a car driving off a cliff with the chicken kind of flying, and that was impressive as it is. But you can click on any video that you've generated, and you can extend it and say, okay, look, I want the chicken to drop down to the ground or something like that, and it will do that. And the main thing is its consistency between scenes, which is just huge, because previously everything that you would generate the person would look slightly different, or there would be like a lot of inconsistencies between scenes. But now it seems like Google have cracked this. I mean, Google have the largest repository of video content on the internet with YouTube. So it's not a surprise that they could do this, but just seeing how it can be done is just it's going to be amazing for AI filmmaking. And even in terms of like Netflix potentially using the same tech for the AI ads, but also you could, we've talked about this before in terms of having alternate endings to different series and films. Like you can see this all happening now. It's just amazing. Did you guys see the videos of the car show?
That I had to watch it like 3 times over because I was looking for where can I spot that this is AI. And second time round, I did spot a few things where I was like, okay, that doesn't look kind of real. However, it was overall so good that if I just watched that once through and without being told it was AI, I never would think it was AI. Even the guy at the beginning saying, this is not a real car show and whatever. I still think, but he's at a car show. Even though he's telling me that, he's clearly at a car show. It just, and everything, like the people and the voices seem to match the people. The movements seem quite natural. The people walking in the background. Didn't see a lot of cars though, so maybe that would have been a bit of a giveaway. Certainly not full shots of cars anyway. But yeah, I was amazed by it. Amazed. Could not believe it. Yeah.
Mind blasting, as your family member said, is correct. I would say so. Like Jag, I watched it twice because the first time I was like, huh, this is just, just a video of like, okay, a car show, like cool. But then after that, I had to reread like what you said. And I was like, oh, damn, like, yeah, okay, I can spot a little bit of AI. But again, for the layperson out there who, it's not really, their life's not really embedded with like a lot of these AI platforms, they'll believe it. And it reminds me of that, like, what was it? Was it a Kanye West, the black and white like video, like a few months ago, where like it was made with AI, but it looked like it was real, and like, so yeah, very impressive.
Yeah, I don't have much more to add. I mean, I've seen a few examples of them, and it's great. I think it's to your point about watching it once and not noticing. I mean, for me, I always comes back to like advertising and marketing and things. Like you can create ads, like watching a full video, like if it's a film that you really like, you probably will watch it more than once. But if you create an ad that's good enough, it's going to be a much cheaper way of creating advertising assets. So that was my first thought when I saw it. And the other thing is it's very diverse. Like some of the characters I've seen that have been made, it's not like your standard rolled out of the US, you're expecting it. They can do every kind of nationality, every voice, that sort of stuff, which I thought was super impressive too.
Jace, if someone wanted to use Google VO now, how would they go about using it?
You need to get onto a subscription. I think it's like $130 a month or something like that, but it's still rolling out. And I'm sure the Google servers are completely slammed at the moment, because I've been trying to use one of the tools that they've come out with. Is called Google Stitch, where it will generate like these Campbell layouts for like, I just put in the app description and it will come out with full design assets for that, and it's just phenomenal. But half the time when I'm trying to use it, it doesn't work. So I haven't got access to VO right now. I'm just looking at the demos, but yeah, I'm sure like this is going to be another revenue stream for them, especially with they're kind of targeting this at Hollywood and film producers. So I'm pretty sure if you're going to be trying to make a feature-length film or something like that, you're going to have to pay Google quite a bit. But it's going to be way cheaper than, actually making a real thing.
It's going to be like that Black Mirror episode again.
Which episode?
The one that had Awkwafina, where basically, it's called Hotel Reverie. It's the one where they wanted to create that old film, and then but they work with an AI company to sort of like stitch things together. It seems like that's, again, we're going down that Black Mirror path.
I felt, Jason, you said you didn't have access, but that's because maybe you just don't want to give me the password later. But it's nice that you dropped that in there. So someone needs a decent computer to run this off, I'm assuming. This isn't going to run off of a... What have I got here? What am I rocking today? My HP, my 4-year-old HP laptop. It's not going to work off of that.
No, it's all actually cloud-based. So everything happens in the cloud, and then you just download the assets.
Okay. I'll reach out to you later about your non-existent access.
I am going to try Stitch, though. I just checked it out. The Google Stitch website looks good. I'm going to try it after this.
Web and app designers, are going to either be supercharged or potentially days are numbered, because it's just amazing. It really is.
It's just amazing that their days are numbered. I think that's a quote
No,
from Jason.
I'm saying the product is
episode
amazing.
90.
No, I'm going to be out of a job soon. I'm telling you. Like,
you don't need a job, but we don't need to talk about that. Right. You know what, Jason? Why don't we move on? You've got more to tell us. I think you've been looking into your crystal ball. You've seen the news that Jony Ive has joined OpenAI, and I think you have some hypothesis of what is to come next.
yeah, so OpenAI and the ChatGPT folks have officially teamed up with Jony Ive. And so, if you don't know who he is, he's the legendary designer behind the iPhone, the iMac, iPad, pretty much one of the most legendary designers in tech. So they basically merged with IO, which is Jony Ive's design firm, for about 6.5 billion. And they're working on something super mysterious. And they're saying it's a brand new AI-powered device that's not a phone and not a typical wearable. And Sam Altman has said that he's got a prototype and he thinks it's the coolest piece of technology the world has ever seen. Yeah, so we're going to just do a quick prediction round of what you think this could be. So I'm going to start with you, Felina. What do you think it is?
Oh no, can you give me some hints? Are there no hints out there? What do you reckon? No hints?
No hints. Like, they're not giving us too much either. It's like, we're one in suspense.
Come back to me. It looks like Jag is ready with
Jag
his
knows.
answer.
Yeah, I thought to buy Felina some time. I don't know, because I don't think it's been confirmed unless I'm mistaken. I'm sure it's the brand new Humane AI 2.0. I'm sure it is. It's the product we all need from the beginning. A brooch to wear around, and Jony has cracked it, and Sam is so excited by it that he's given him 6.5 billion, because that's what a Humane AI 2.0 would be worth. Am I close, Jace?
I don't know. Time will tell. Jen, what do you think?
I thought similar at the beginning because they said like not your typical wearable, but now I'm thinking maybe something like a watch or like something you would actually wear. I mean, not many people walk around wearing brooches as far as I'm aware these days. Like maybe it's a necklace, maybe it's, I don't know, something that's a bit more fashion-led. Because if you think about all the Apple devices that he created, they are all beautiful. Like that was always the purpose of them, was that they looked cool, they looked nice, you want to be seen with it. So I'm thinking maybe, it's not going to be glasses because everyone's done that. So maybe some sort of watch or some sort of jewelry. That's what I'm going. A ring, maybe? A ring might be a good one.
The necklace from Black Mirror. The necklace from Black Mirror.
It's gonna be the bloody pendant, and it's just because when Jen said jewelry, I was like, oh yeah, that Black Mirror episode where it was like the pendant.
Yeah, that's my
could be though.
Yeah, that's my final. Yeah, the pendant.
You can't just take my answer, Felina. That's not how it works.
I think that is very viable. I think because like watches, glasses, I feel like there's so many out there, right? And there's like the Ray-Ban Meta glasses and all of that. So yeah, jewelry. That's right.
Yeah. Like, I think the idea is to move us beyond screens and making AI feel kind of more integrated and less intrusive, right? So they've been talking about a third core device. That might be, it could be the pin. That's definitely one. But how much better? I mean, obviously, the rabbit and the Humane pin that they had didn't go down well at all. And who's going to go out there and buy one of these devices with a subscription when you could just use your phone? So I'm thinking that it has to be something that you wear every day, and it could be like a ring style type thing. So it could be an Aura ring type device, but it has to be on you all the time. But also it needs to have a decent speaker and be able to show you directions or something. So I'm not sure. I just keep on going back to glasses, but they say that it's not glasses.
All right, I got an idea. This will be my submission, Jason. So we all wear headphones regularly. So why not just one clip-on headphone that goes on one ear, either one, your favorite.
Like people with hearing disabilities, they wear that thing.
Yeah, it could be something quite sizable, and that way it has a camera attached to it, so it can see what you see. And if you forget someone's name, that'd be so useful, wouldn't it? Just tell you who it is. You don't have to remember his name anymore. and then give you the info on them. And then just everything else, because you need, as you said, you need to hear. And then also it's close enough that, it can act as a speaker for you. It's just something maybe around the ear. And it can be done in a kind of jewelry style thing, Thinking Demolition Man, that kind of vibe.
As long as you don't have an afro, it will work pretty well, I think.
I'm sure there'll be alternatives. Maybe one, I don't know. I'm sure there will.
As we said, Black Mirror, I swear, is real life now. It's going to be the bloody pendant. But let's see.
Yeah. Brilliant. All right, good. Well, thanks for that, Jace. Well, let's see what it is. I'm sure it'll be super affordable when it does arrive. So very much looking forward to that. Wonderful. Well, guys, you know what? I think we'll end it there. I've got my AI fill for another week. So thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Felina. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, listeners. This has been episode 90 of Disconnected. Will we make it to 100? Let's see. We'll see you on the next one.